In a world that's just constantly buzzing, notifications, invites, this constant pull towards connection. Have you ever stopped and wondered if maybe real strength or maybe even clarity comes from, well, choosing something different? Like maybe it's not about being more connected, but about deliberately cultivating your own path, sort of living alone like a rhinoceros horn.
It's such a striking image, isn't it? Really potent and kind of radical, maybe. Seems to go against our basic social instincts.
It really does. I mean, for a lot of us, the whole idea of choosing solitude seems, well, it flies in the face of everything society tends to push, right? Connection, community.
Exactly.
So let's maybe dig into why this ancient text takes what feels like such a radical stance. The source we're diving into today is this really fascinating ancient Buddhist text. It's called the Khaggavisāṇasutta.
Which translates to the Rhinoceros Horn Sutta.
Right, and it's part of the bigger collection, the Sutta Nipāta, these ancient Buddhist discourses.
And this sutta, specifically, it offers a very unique perspective. Quite challenging, actually. It really urges the practitioner to cut ties with almost everything we, normally hold dear.
Yeah. So our mission today, really, is to unpack the wisdom that's packed into this thing. We want to explore why it champions solitude so strongly, what kind of qualities it expects from someone on this path. And then maybe the most surprising bit where it actually says companionship is not just okay, but like really valuable.
Yeah, that twist is important.
So we're hoping to pull out some insights for you listening about navigating relationships, independence, maybe personal growth.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
And what's really striking right from the start is how it sets the stage. It tells the practitioner to lay aside all violence, but also not even to desire children, let alone friends.
Wow.
The very first verses just hit you with this radical detachment from, normal life.
That is quite an opening statement, isn't it? That line, from association arises affection. From affection arises this suffering. I mean, that directly challenges pretty much all our modern ideas about connection being good. So the sutta isn't just saying solitude is maybe better. It's actually arguing that connection itself, or at least the attachment that comes with it, is a direct cause of suffering.
That's precisely the core argument.
Right.
Yeah, and it uses these incredibly vivid metaphors to, hammer that point home.
Right.
If you look at the bigger picture, the idea is that attachment to others, even people you love, can become a source of pain, a distraction. It points out that worrying about friends or family, it can actually get in the way of your spiritual progress. It's a really stark warning against getting too emotionally tangled up.
It paints such a clear picture. I remember the comparison to entangled bamboo, suggesting this dense, sort of intertwined mess that just holds you back.
Yeah.
And then there's the idea that just having companions leads to constant invites, obligations. You have to change how you live, how you walk, how you travel.
Yeah. It's like the mere presence of other people, no matter how nice they are, inherently creates friction. It kind of makes you stop and think, doesn't it?
It does.
What's the real cost of all this constant social interaction on our, focus, our inner peace? The sutta suggests it compromises your freedom, your ability to focus inward.
All right.
It even says that play and pleasure arise in companionship and great affection for children, but then it lists these as potential dangers, not blessings.
Which is so counterintuitive for most of us.
Yeah.
And it really drives it home with that image of the two golden armlets clashing on the arm.
Yeah.
Like you two beautiful things, valuable things, but just because they're together, they make noise, they clash. Speech and annoyance, it says. It feels very practical, almost clinical, about the downside of interaction.
It's not really cynical, though, I don't think. It's more like acutely aware of the friction that's just inherent in relationships, even good ones, and how they can pull you off your path. And then it warns about sensual pleasures, too, calls them varied, sweet, and delightful, but also things that afflict the mind.
Like a disease or a dart,
Exactly. So the rhinoceros horn path is about severing all those ties that bind you.
So it's not just about people, the external relationships, but also freedom from inside attachments to comfort desires, that sort of thing.
Absolutely. The Sutta tells you to be like a withered kovilara tree.
Yeah, that sheds its leaves naturally.
Right.
Yeah.
Symbolizing just casting off the whole household life, the worldly identity, breaking those connections. And then there's the bit about enduring hardship, cold, heat, hunger, thirst, insects.
Basically cultivating this profound self-sufficiency Facing discomfort head on.
Precisely. The practitioner is encouraged to be like a lion unafraid of sounds, or wind unattached to a net, or a lotus unblemished by water. These are such powerful ways to describe this inner resilience, this deep non-attachment.
Yeah.
It's not just about what you do, but who you become. Someone so independent they've untangled themselves from the roots of suffering, greed, delusion, all the ways we trick ourselves.
Yeah, that picture of the practitioner.
Mm-hmm.
Almost stoic, disciplined.
Yeah.
It's incredibly vivid. When the suit mentions things like downcast eyes or senses guarded, what's the deeper practice there, beyond just literally looking down?
Well, it's about cultivating a deep inner quiet, isn't it? Strength. By consciously reducing the external noise, the internal craving.
Okay.
Downcast eyes means not letting your gaze just wander around, picking up new things to desire. Senses guarded is about being mindful of what you let in.
Oh, I see.
The goal is this deep equanimity, this inner balance that isn't just pushed around by whatever's happening outside. It even gets super practical, like how to eat, not craving taste, not greedy, walking for alms methodically, not attached to families.
So unattached and independent in basically every single part of life. The ideal person, then, is like the majestic elephant leaving its herd.
Yes. Dwelling in the forest, completely at will. They overcome the traditional 5 hindrances.
Right. Sensual desire, ill will, laziness, restlessness, doubt.
Yeah, exactly. They cut through all those emotional attachments, the fetters, to get to this state of pure mental clarity.
It's systematically cleaning house, mentally speaking.
Pretty much. Abandoning lust, hatred, delusion, breaking all the bonds that keep us stuck in the cycle of suffering. And remaining unafraid, even of death itself, it's a path of really rigorous self-purification. Radical freedom.
Okay, so far this sutta has painted a pretty stark picture. Solitude seems paramount, almost uncompromising in its push for detachment.
It does, doesn't it?
But, and this is where I think it gets really interesting, it's not actually a blanket rejection of all connection, is it? It brings in this critical nuance. It shows this incredible wisdom about the right kind of companionship. After all that talk about going it alone, it says, and I find this fascinating, if one obtains a wise companion, walking together, righteous and discerning, overcoming all dangers, one should wander with them, joyful and mindful.
Yes. This is such a crucial point, a profound exception, really.
Right.
It acknowledges that while, most companionship might be a hindrance on this specific path, the right kind of companion is incredibly valuable. It actually praises finding one. Certainly, we praise the attainment of a good companion. Companions who are superior should be associated with. That's a pretty strong endorsement.
So it's not simply no friends ever. It's about deep discernment.
Yeah.
It warns you off the evil friends, right? The ones who don't see one's true welfare or are heedless, devoted to pleasure.
Exactly. Those drag you down.
But then it encourages associating with a learned friend who holds the Dhamma, the teachings, a noble and intelligent friend.
Yeah.
So it's less about how many friends you have and much more about the quality, the alignment.
Absolutely. It's asking you to really look closely. Discern between relationships that help you grow and ones that pull you back. It's very pragmatic, actually.
How so?
Well, it's like, if you can find someone who genuinely lifts up your practice, who shares your highest goals, who supports your inner journey, that companionship is celebrated. It's like finding treasure, however, and this is the catch. It quickly adds that if one does not obtain a wise companion, then you go back to the solitary path, like a king abandoning a conquered kingdom. Solitude is the default, the preferred way, if that ideal companion isn't there.
Okay, so that makes sense. The rhinoceros horn path, then it's much more nuanced than just, locking yourself away.
Definitely.
It sounds like it's more about intentional detachment, deep self-reliance, freedom from entanglements that don't help, but not necessarily a total rejection of connection.
Right. And it's also about cultivating those positive states within boundless kindness, equanimity, compassion, sympathetic joy, while, importantly, not opposing anyone in the world. You're not fighting, you're just stepping aside. And that final verse really nails why solitude is often better. Friends now associate for a reason. Selfless friends are rare. Selfish, impure people. It's quite blunt.
It is blunt. It's a powerful call for self-reliance, isn't it? And for being really intentional about relationships.
Yeah, it asks us to think about the quality of our connections, not just the quantity. And to be honest, maybe, about why we seek out the friendships we do.
So essentially, don't settle. Choose solitude over any relationship that doesn't actually serve your deepest purpose or that pulls you off course.
That seems to be the core message of that exception,
Which brings us back to you listening. how can these ancient ideas apply today? In our very different, very connected world, what does it mean for you to maybe cultivate a bit more independence when conformity is everywhere? Or to seek out genuine purpose? Or maybe just choose your companions with a bit more wisdom, more intention?
It's a good prompt for reflection. The Sutta reminds us that true strength often comes from within, right? Cultivated in stillness. And that relationships, if chosen with real discernment, can be amazing, but only if they truly elevate us.
So, in a world that's always pushing for constant connection, external validation, what does it mean for you to cultivate your own rhinoceros horn path, finding that strength, that clarity from within? Something to think about.